what universe do you figure that you're successful enough to try to mentor people and try to get people to join what this is that you're doing?
So this week, I got targeted by a pyramid scheme recruiter who tried to frame his attempt to recruit me as a date. So on our first date, we went to Starbucks, and he didn't order anything and didn't pay for me either, which was the first red flag. The second red flag is that he actually assigned me a book to read before our second date. The book he assigned me to read is a book called The Go-Giver, and I read the whole thing in like a day. And after reading the book, it was painfully obvious that this book was essentially a guidebook on how to join a pyramid scheme. So the book is actually what tipped me off to what he was doing. Well, tonight is our second date, and he doesn't know that I'm onto his scheme. I'm gonna film it. Let's see how it goes.
Being your authentic self stood out a lot too. I feel like probably some of the reason that my social media has taken off as much as it has is because it's a place for me to be my authentic self.
Are you open to other sources of income? Are you open to other things?
I mean, I have 4 sources of income at the moment. It's been fun to kind of watch this develop to a point where I can now pay other people. Be a giver, right? Be a go-giver.
Go-giver, yeah. And so when it comes to like getting around other people and like adding another source of income, is that something that you're
not necessarily. No, I'm not really looking to add more work to my plate. Like, my goal is just to meet people and get to know, people for who they are. But it sounds like your goal is to view people as a business transaction. No, that's not something that we were aware of when you guys came to the barbecue. Like, it sounds like you probably came to the barbecue with the intent of scouting out people for whatever this is that you're doing. Am I kind of on the right track? Are you in a pyramid scheme?
I'm not afraid.
Okay.
When I met you, I saw that you were like driven and ambitious. So I was like, okay, like this is somebody who like might benefit from learning about some of the stuff I've learned. When you say in on this scheme, it's kind of insulting.
Yeah, I felt insulted too. After you assigned me a book to read and I found out that the book you assigned me was an intro to a pyramid scheme. The fact that you would just make the assumption that you have something to offer me in terms of influence or finance when I'm leaps and bounds ahead of you was wildly offensive. And I don't know if you made that assumption because I'm a girl.
I watch for people who have succeeded in some way that's impressive to me.
What was your goal in giving me that book to read? What was the end goal there?
To see what you thought about this. Not to be offensive, but you're being a little bit combative about this. You don't know and you don't understand. I don't have a permit scheme.
The people that you're saying you're going to put me in contact with, what is that? What's the end goal there?
Yeah, so I'm happy to share all that I do, but not if it from an authentic standpoint.
No, I'm genuinely curious. Like, if I'm wrong that this isn't a pyramid scheme, I would love to be proven wrong.
I think that what's happened here is you've misinterpreted what this. I feel like you feel offended about such because, like, what I do is honestly it's really cool. It's an incredible business. It's something that I feel like honestly I don't understand why everybody's doing it.
What is it that you do?
Yeah, so I have an e-commerce business. I have customers. I sell products, and then I help other people do the same thing. What I do is I teach people how to be successful people. The idea is you develop a person. When you develop people, it doesn't matter what the widget is. It doesn't matter what you do. When you teach people how to be successful, then they're going to succeed at whatever.
People pay you for these services?
No.
So you teach people how to be successful. What's in it for you?
Usually this takes people a little bit of time to get, but you're kind of and before I draw out everything I do, have we gotten over the whole you're a distrustful person thing? Because I really don't want to continue.
I'm a distrustful person.
I'm the most genuine, kind, caring, loving person you'll ever meet. You can believe whatever you want. That's the reality. So a lot of what I do is just being ready to take tomatoes, and have people say that what I'm doing is it kind of sucks, to be honest.
Why do you do it then, if it sucks?
Because it's awesome. It's the coolest thing in the world. I'm dating, I'm going on 3 dates a week with a bunch of gals. So that's what I want to do for others. Eventually, my efforts, they will get paid for their store and their customers. They will also get paid for my store and my customers. But you can think whatever you want. I really don't care that much, because some people think I'm an idiot.
I don't think you're an idiot.
But I care about that. So I hope you end up realizing that I am the person you thought I was. This is you. You are not like most people. Most people have a job. Sorry, literally a child could do this. That's how simple it is. What I do is I teach people how to take some of the money that they spend over at Walmart and instead spend it at their own store. I contract with incredible companies that provide stuff. And it's really high end. What you do is you add on customers to your store. When you add customers, then you have more volume moving through your store. So the companies I work with, one of them is called Amway Global. And that's something where you're probably like, oh, she is doing that thing. They said it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, no, Amway is definitely a pyramid scheme.
It is most certainly not. Forgive me. But you don't know what you're talking about.
The amount of like belittling that is coming out of your mouth, like there's nothing you can offer me in terms of influence and finance that I don't already have leaps and bounds ahead of you.
Honestly, I'm not going to let you, because I don't want to work with people who feel offended by it. So
darn. I guess I'm missing out on so many profits I could have gotten from Amway Global and the pyramid scheme. Man, I'm so disappointed.
That's not what I mean.
I mean, I think there's been a lot of assumptions on your part that I'm somebody who would want to join in on whatever this is that you're doing without taking into account that I could actually probably offer you a lot of the things that you're looking for in terms of advice and mentorship and how to get where I am.
Because what I'm saying is, if you know somebody who's going to help me and coach me, then I'm looking for the best thing. I know
it couldn't possibly be me though, right? It's like you speak of like, this great business model and you're trying to recruit people to mentor, and you live in an apartment with roommates. In what universe do you figure that you're successful enough to try to mentor people and try to get people to join what this is that you're doing?
I better ask them for $1. I hope that you'll figure out someday that I'm not.
You guys, that was insane. The amount of gaslighting that happened in that conversation is mind-boggling. Like, this guy, as soon as I called him out on his shit, tried every trick in the book to make me feel like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you have the wrong idea. If you're gonna be a distrustful person, we can't speak anymore. The audacity to, the minute I called him out on his bullshit, to try to turn that on me and act like I was in the wrong is, wow. Not only is this guy a pyramid scammer, but he's a gaslighter. Like, I'm just in shock, but that was so worth it. I highly recommend you guys call people out on their shit. If you get targeted by one of these pyramid scheme recruiters, agree to go out with them and call them out on their shit. I don't think I've ever felt so brave and so accomplished in my entire life. So as soon as we walked out of the restaurant, he comes walking up behind me and he's like, oh, make sure to take a selfie. Make sure to get a selfie with me in the background. Oh, he's so pissed. I think he's actually still like in his car watching me right now film. Oh, that was so liberating. And I'm just glad that I have reached a point where I am no longer susceptible to the gaslighters. I mean, call it a long string of dating terrible guys and getting used to recognizing gaslighting for what it is. But oh man, whew, 10 out of 10, highly recommend.